What's happening, everybody? Here's another video with your favorite Mr. Cator. In this video, we'll talk about observables. An observable is a stream of values that can be observed over time, offering more flexibility and control for asynchronous operation. As opposed to promises, which gets a value one time and then close the stream, observable offer a way to receive updates repeatedly for a long time as long as you subscribe to a stream. I kind of think of these as like promises on steroids. You'll understand why. Observables in Angular provides a robust way to handle asynchronous data streams, making it easier to manage real-time updates, handle user interactions, and as well as fetch data from APIs. They come in different shapes and forms. In this video, we will look at the subjects, behavioral subjects, and as well as ReplaySubject. Anything else is just an addition to these ones, and in most cases, these are all you will need to know. For better understanding, I'm going to bring a real-world example using YouTube as an example. So imagine a popular YouTube creator like Mr. Cator who regularly uploads new videos. The creator represents the observables, while the subscribers represent the observers. Observables, observer. In this case, YouTube creator, which we can call an observable, it's the creator that uploads new videos on their channel. Same as somebody who's talking. And then the subscriber, it's like somebody who listens, which in this case, we call them observers. Whenever the creator uploads a new video, all subscribers receive a notification, allowing them to watch the latest content. Subscribers can join, in this case, subscribe, or leave unsubscribe the channel at any given time, and they will start or stop receiving notifications accordingly. This scenario mirrors how observable works. So the YouTube creator, which is an observable, emits a new video, data, and as well as the subscribers, which are observers, react to these emitted videos by watching the video. Some of you might ask, why don't we just refresh every hour to get the latest updates, like the latest videos? While that is an option, it might not be the most ideal scenario in this case, where notifications or updates are very important to you, which means you want to get them real time. Like as soon as the newest notification comes out, you want to be notified. So for those of you who haven't subscribed to this channel, this serves as a reminder to do so and hitting that notification bell as well. And as well, if you feel Cator Updates gives you so much value too, remember to hit the subscribe button to be the first in line to receive our newest videos. I've already written some of the code for this, right? But what I would like to do is be able to see my stock updating real time. I've already written a small logic here that will just go to the number of the items that I do have and then just change the stock quantity and then show it to the user right here. To put this in a problem statement, it's imagine you're running an online store. You want to notify different parts of your app whenever the stock quantity of your product changes, which means whenever it increases or decreases, and then tell the user whether you're out of stock or you're in stock or if the stock is running low. So to just show you how this random update stock quantity function works, you can look at the console here, right? At first, these shirts, the Cator black t-shirts, was having, let's say, the stock quantity of 13. And then at the bottom here, you can see that the stock quantity has changed to be 6. And then as it, keeps on updating, it changes the values from time to time. But then you see on this side, it still remains the same. So how can we then say this latest value that we are getting from our service should be shown to the user here in real time? And that's where we get to add our observable. To do that, we can just go and add a single line here that is called new observable. And then you can choose to give it a type. In my case, I think I'm okay because it will same time just carry on from the type I have in here. I'll remove that. You see, I just moved everything else inside this new observable that I have. And what I will do is I will say observer dot next. What next will do is it says, hey, I have the latest value and I'm going to give it to this observable that we have in here. And then that is how it is. I mean, it's quite simple, straightforward. You just have a new observable and then you have the body of what you want to do. And then you give it the value once you are ready to publish it to whoever is listening. But then it doesn't end here, right? You need to expose this observable out of this service so that our component can be able to receive it. So I would just go ahead and maybe I'll just make this a public, and then I'll call it, let's say, product list observable, and then yeah, I think that is the correct thing. I can just do it like this, and then say new observable so that I can initialize it. And then near the bottom, I'll just say this dot product list observable is equals to that. So then now whenever we export this observable, then it will know that it has this observer, and then it will be listening to the latest new list that you have here. I mean, this new list, whatever it's doing, it's quite simple. It just gets a random value and then populate to my stock quantity. Now it's time to listen to the latest value that this product list observable will be having. So we can just go ahead, maybe on your ng on init, and then say this dot product service dot, I think it's product list observable, and then you say subscribe. Remember the whole subscribe thing we spoke about? When it just says, okay, I want to listen to the latest value that this product list observable will be having, and then just update my product list with such. I'll save that and let's see what happens. Now it's updating the values. And the reason why it wasn't is because this product list observable was not really initialized with some sort of a changing value or function that is doing the magic in. So I had to move the logic that was inside this random stock quantity function all the way into here. Yeah, I know it kind of looks a bit messy, but we'll try to clean it up with other types or other approaches to these observables. And you can see now these values do show real time. And you can see it's 9, it's 11, and all those kind of things. And if I have to write some logic of whether it's still in stock, out of stock, I can just put it in here when it's just simple if statement. And then whenever the stock quantity is less than a certain number, then show it out of stock or it's in stock. For now, I'm just going to update it with a number like that. And it works. Notice how we had to move all this logic inside this observable variable during instantiation. We don't really have to do this, right? We can use something we call a subject. A subject in rxjs acts as both an observable and an observer. For us to just convert this observable to a simple subject, we can just move the logic in here. You'll see that this observer next will be crying, so I'm just going to comment it out for now, and then change this to be of type subject instead of observable, and then it's going to be imported from rxjs as well. And then I just have to say new subject, and then I'm going to leave it like that. This is quite clean and on a single line. And then what I will have to do then now is just come here. Instead of saying observer.next, I just give it the very same variable of our product list observable, and then say .next. Remember to add this keyword, and that is it. On the component side, we don't change anything because they still follow the whole pattern of observable and subscribers. So you just saw that now we didn't have to have another variable that is going to be an observable and another variable that is going to be an observer to be able to do this whole mechanism, right? But rather we just have one observable, which is of a type subject, that will act both as an observable and as an observer, which is much more cleaner and quicker to get our job done here. If you go back and click on sheds again, you would see that there is really nothing, right? And this is happening because whenever this subject observables are instantiated, they're instantiated without any values. And only after 5 seconds, it will then have some values populated. And that is where behavioral subjects comes in. These are special types of subjects that requires an initial values and emits its current value or the most returned emitted values to the new subscribers. To change this, you can just go ahead and then type in BehaviorSubjects. I'm going to remove the other ones there and then just change it like this, like that. And then you see here, it will tell you that it expects at least one argument, but it got 0. In my case, I'll just pass in this dot items and I'll save it. And the last one being the ReplaySubject. ReplaySubject are similar to behavioral_subject, but they can store a specific number of previous values and replay them to new subscribers. So what this means, it means that as you are giving this next some latest value, your ReplaySubject will kind of cache it and know it, so that you can be able to kind of roll back and then be able to get the values before the current latest one. And to change this behavioral subjects to a subject, you can just say ReplaySubject and then put it here and then that. And that should work. But you'll see now it's crying about argument of type that is not assignable to type number. This is because you specify the number of cached values it can have from the current value instead of the initial value that you want your observable to have. In my case, I could just put a 3 and then it will cache maybe the last 3 times this subject or ReplaySubject is updated. And it should just work as normal like that. But many cases, people don't really use this. I've never really found myself using this ReplaySubject because, okay, why would I want to really cache my latest values if I say I need the latest value to be shown? I mean, it has quite a niche use case, and if you find one, please be sure to just leave it on the comment section below and let me know how you kind of used it and how you find it. One other thing that you need to know about your subscribers is remember to unsubscribe whenever you unmount this component. To do that, it's quite simple. I have a subscription that is already there. I'm going to just call this maybe the product list subscription. And I don't really think I have to have this new keyword, but it's okay. And then I then go ahead and say this dot subscription, and then it will be that. It will just have a reference to this subscriber that I have here, so that whenever I'm done with this in this component, then I could just go ahead and then unsubscribe. And that is it. This is good practice, just so that you don't leave things hanging. I hope you had fun exploring how Observable works. In the next episode, we will be exploring how we can deploy this app to a cloud environment.